It is Monday morning and the market is selling off. Trump recently said that he will be raising global tariffs to 15%, as he posted on social media that he does not have to go back to Congress to get approval on the tariffs. That has spooked the markets, especially following the news on tariffs that came out on Friday of last week. Now, I rarely mention news-related events on my YouTube channel, but I figured that was something really important to mention for this week. On top of that, we have NVIDIA's earnings that takes place after the market close on Wednesday. If this was a normal week and things didn't feel so weird in the market, I would have a lot of conviction in saying this is where I think the market is going to spend majority of the week. I would also think that this is probably where the market's going to look to spend Friday, possibly even pin within this area. But I don't have the same level of convictions in which I would normally have given the climate of what's going on right now. The market is extremely sensitive to Trump's tweets. We are in net negative gamma territory, so that can flip the script. I do expect this to be support for this week, but I did not expect this to already be here on a Monday. So that is already concerning. It doesn't mean I'm going to abandon my thought process just as yet, as I already have a butterfly spread targeting this area. I did have to reduce my size before I started recording this video because it was looking a little dicey. This should be expected supports, but if the market gets below 680, especially if it closes below here, things can get really dangerous in this area here. There is some activity happening all the way down at 650 that we don't normally see, so that's why it's marked off for this week, but that is over a 5% drop from where the market started. I don't really look at levels that are over 5% away within the given week. If you're looking to structure a swing trade, maybe 30 days out targeting this area, then maybe this can be your first sign of a reason to potentially look that far away. To the upside, 700 should be extreme resistance for this week. I don't even think we're going to get this far up. I did want to mention that we are seeing a little bit of new net positive growth that is growing between the 700 and 705 area. It's relatively new compared to the previous weeks, so it could be interpreted as a good sign. This is what the gamma exposure profile looks like on QTA, and this is some of that net positive gamma that is growing. The absolute gamma cutoff essentially stops at 700, so I wouldn't really put much weight on this over here. 690 should act as a serious resistance if we do get back up to here. As we can see, it is a net negative gamma exposure island. With that being said, things are not really looking that good for bulls this week. That means even if the market does reverse, it's likely to struggle in this area and then likely to meet resistance here, and ultimately a lot of resistance up here. Now, anything can happen when the market is this sensitive to news, meaning if Trump was to post something on social media completely contradicting whatever he said, that can positively impact the markets. Any type of major headlines right now when the market is moving predominantly on these type of headlines, we can see a 1 to 2% reversal within a 24-hour period. So keep that in mind. Trade smart, trade defensive, and probably reduce your size. I'm keeping this week's trade ideas relatively small as I want to get this video up as soon as possible and not spend too much time. I did leave a couple of these positions from last week because, as you guys know, these were positions that targeted this week's expirations. This was that iron condor from last week. You guys can check out last week Tuesday's video, which was the start of the week, in which I shared this idea. It was a concept of playing safe instead of going with the Friday expirations, going with the following Friday expirations. So making it a 10 DTE trade. And the only reason it's a 10 DTE versus an 11 DTE is because the market was closed on a Monday. As you guys can see, this trade is doing okay. It's still not doing that great, and that's because implied volatility is still rising. The market is still spooked a little bit right now. The VIX is also on a climb. So these are things that are going to cause iron condors, which is a short Vega trade, to struggle to increase in profits. This was another trade idea that was shared early last week, and as you guys can see, it's doing okay, just like the iron condor. Before we get into some of the trade ideas I have for this week, let's also just take a look at a larger analysis here. This area has been significant. I mentioned at the start of the year, this year-to-date anchored VWAP is going to be something that traders will have on watch. As you guys can see how price has been interacting with it over the past few days. On top of that, we have the 50 daily moving average. These two converging on each other is going to continue to be of significance. If the market is struggling to stay above it, then bears are going to feel confident. If the market can start showing signs of strength above it, then that can create some confidence for bulls, as they are essentially looking for 700. As we can see, we did not get up to 700 earlier in the year, but these technical levels are going to contribute in what we're seeing in price action. On the other end, the 200 daily moving average is really where I think big money wants to see the markets, as it is going to be a good opportunity to potentially reposition their portfolios, as this is what is considered to be a good area of value if you're looking for long-term position swings. The VIX has now spiked past the quant trading app 2 sigma level. What we want to see is if the VIX gets back up to last week's high, we want to see the SPY being below that to believe this sell-off. If you are a bear, I should say. If you are a bull and the SPY comes back down to 675 and we do not see the VIX above this level, you can call the bluff on this sell-off. And that's the approach I like to use. That's what I'm hoping to see, so then I can actually put some serious risk back on targeting 690, because prior to the market reaction to Trump's news, I actually went to sleep over the weekend expecting the markets to be in this area for the most part. So it has already deviated from what I was expecting. I was not expecting to see the markets back below 683 this week, especially this early in the week. So that means I'm going to adjust my approach for the week, and I'm definitely going to be trading much smaller than I really would. I'm also going to have much less positions. Might change my mind tomorrow, but for today, I am not going to be aggressive. Whenever the market is going way off script from what I was thinking, I take a step back. The 80 SPD is also selling off, although it's not way below where I would expect it to be. I would expect it to be somewhere down here based on this price action. And the ADD is also selling off. As we can see, the ADD is more so in confluence with the market, as it is way below where it opened the day. It's still not at extreme levels yet. The ADD being down, the VIX being up, and the markets being down in net negative gamma territory, this is all green flags for a bear and red flags for a bull. This is our ES charts with the volume profile turned on for the week. We've already pierced below last week's value area low, and this was last week's value area high. It was a narrow range last week, so it's not surprising that the market is already breaking out of last week's range. We do have a potential demand zone down here. We can also expect to see maybe some support at the 6,800 level. These supply zones are still left up from earlier in the year. The market has yet to retest this virgin weekly point of control or naked point of control. And we can see all of these high value nodes that was created around this weekly point of control is causing the markets to struggle around here. This area pretty much coincides with that 690 level on the SPY, which we know is an area of significance. As usual, let's take a look at an iron condor trade idea for the week. And this is essentially using the SPY's 670 up to 700 range. This is where I would expect the market to spend most of the week. And unlike making the same mistake last week, instead of going with the following Friday, this is a weekly expirations, so 4 DTE. I saved this trade about 40 minutes ago or so. The put delta at that time was about 20, and the call short delta was around 0.08. So this is the short delta for the call side. This is the short delta for the put side, just for an idea of how far out of the money each of these positions are. Also take note of, this is the first time I think I've shared an iron condor where the main one being this much of a contrast between the net credit and the margin requirements. That's because this iron condor is wider. That's something you want to do to be defensive in volatile markets like this. We want to make this iron condor wider, but we are collecting a better premium going this wide because the VIX is elevated. As usual in something like this, you're going to be looking for about 25% return on the credit, 50% return for the max. That profit target would generally be hit by a Wednesday. IV may stay elevated because of Nvidia's earnings, but for the most part, I would expect this profit to be hit on a Wednesday. If the market does drop down another 1.5%, you want to have some sort of risk management. You guys can check out some of the previous videos in which I've done on hedging. A couple weeks ago, it was a great example. If you're looking to hedge, then you can look to hedge for that 670 level or even that 650 level. You would go with next week Friday's options. I would suggest something like a put diagonal for the SPX, something less than $3 or even $2. So if the market hovers around here, you actually don't lose any money. And if the market does come up to here, you're only losing a little bit, but then you're making it back on the iron condor. So you end up net positive for the week anyway. Again, check out the video from a couple weeks back on hedging. But for the most part, I would expect this to be a profitable iron condor, even if there is some pain potentially having to hold until Thursday. Staying consistent with an iron butterfly also, this is an 11 DTE iron butterfly. 11 to 15 DTE is generally going to be the sweet spots, following a similar methodology from the previous videos so far this year, in which I've been recommending an iron fly if you prefer these over iron condors, or sometimes I like to run both, as it is using a different expiration from the weekly. We make these broken wing just to offset the delta. We want to have a delta that's not too high, and having this as close to zero is a good thing, as it keeps it delta neutral, or it's trying to keep it as delta neutral as possible. If the market goes nowhere and implied volatility decreases, this is a decent spread to actually hold into Friday, as it is not as common for this to hit profit by Wednesday. This is potentially even a position to swing into next week, Monday. Lastly, I mocked up a calendar spread here. The reason this calendar spread caught my attention is because the CPI is for Wednesday, March 11th. So that's this right here. So we're anchoring the back month to an expiration that should help with implied volatility, or keeping implied volatility up for this expiration. I have a few dedicated step-by-step detailed guides on calendar spreads, but you guys know it is an edge that you want to try to anchor your back month to some sort of major economic catalyst, as that will help if implied volatility does decrease. This is an iron condor that's being opened when the VIX is already rising. So the argument can be made that it was probably better to open calendar spreads last week compared to this week. Nonetheless, I wanted to suggest one just because it's a little bit easier to manage these. If the market was to make another large move, a trader can consider opening up another tenth this way. Or if the market was to make a large move up, a trader can also consider opening another tenth this way. And because it is an 11 DTE, there is a decent amount of time to open up this adjustment. The scary thing would just be if implied volatility was completely sucked out of the markets. That can hurt this calendar spread, but that's why we want to anchor it to something like this here. We're giving it a 7 DTE term structure, so that just means it's 7 days between these two expirations. Another reason why I thought of this calendar spread is because implied volatility is propped up for the shorter term right now. There's almost a 1% difference between the March 6th and the March 13th expiration. That means premium is being jacked up right now for this expiration, and that's an edge in which you can exploit. Opening a calendar spread where the front month has higher IV than the back month, especially when it's that much of a higher IV, over 1% difference, and there's a 7 DTE term structure, there is an edge to be exploited here. A double calendar might be something to consider also. There are traders in quant trading app that are killing it with their calendar spreads this year. They've been sharing some significant results. I have not been that tapped into the calendar spread so far for 2026. You guys know I love calendar spreads, but I've been leaning more so on the butterflies and verticals is what I've actually been more interested in, as well as the merge cow fly, which I've shared in previous videos. That can be another strategy to consider for this week. Who knows? If you're looking for an out the money type of lotto, 700 would be where you would want to target as a bull. This is more so your realistic expected targets to take profits. And if you are a bear, I would not get greedy below 670, as anything below 680 I think is going to be dangerous, as the market is going to want to be fighting to get back above 680. So there is an edge from the risk to reward standpoint for bulls down in this area. However, there is an edge for momentum for bears down in this area. I'm not expecting down here, but if the market gets down here, I think there would be an extreme edge in taking a contrarian trade, expecting a whiplash right back up next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Like this video and leave a comment if you learned something. If you are new to this YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, as I will be releasing more videos this week as I usually do. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.